Oh my gosh, you're here!
Welcome to My Chatbot Life, where chatbot marketers share high converting strategies in this new conversational marketplace. Each week, MKJ introduces you to bot builders who are just like you, a little techie, a little markety, and a whole lot of geeky. Buckle up as Chatbot Mom enjoys another journey into My Chatbot Life.
Okay, here we go with some pretty incredible guys who actually have their training and business called Messenger Marketing Experts. If you know who they are, you better hang on to your hats because we're going to start our conversation out pretty crazy, and we're going to talk about a pretty incredible feat that they accomplished in messenger marketing. Okay, this is Philippe and David Sambor, and they are basically sales and marketing strategists with over 25 years, at least Philippe has, in consulting for small and large businesses. He's sold services and products to more than 6,000 mass market distribution companies, and he is the co-founder, Philippe is the co-founder, and David is the co-founder of Messenger Marketing Experts. There is a pretty cool accomplishment that they have set to their credit, and I'll let them talk to you about it. But my conversation with them, I kind of got a little upset with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. So I'll just let you listen to this conversation and watch it if you're watching on video, and you'll see what made me so upset. And I think if you've ever had to do work for a client, you'd be a little miffed as well. So I'm just going to let you take it and watch the rest of this chat and hang on for the ride for this one, because I'm telling you, they did $3 million through their chatbot that they built for those two influencers in less than an hour, in less than 60 minutes. Calculate how much that is per minute. And yeah, take it away. Okay, welcome to this amazing conversation. I cannot wait to share these two gentlemen with you because they have just accomplished a feat that has never been accomplished before. And we get to chat with them very soon afterward when they're probably still trying to catch up on sleep. So Philippe and David, welcome to the conversation. Hello, how are you?
Hi. Thank you, Mary. Very well.
Yay. So yes, we have to just start with that conversation and then move into other things. Tell us just really briefly what that milestone was and how in the world did you get that gig?
All right. So we've been working with Dean Graziosi's team for about a year. Initially, last year, what we did was we created their evergreen webinar messenger funnel. And last month, they came to us. Dean's nephew came to us and said, "Can you help us with Tony Robbins' coming launch, which is going to be a live event?" So we said, sure.
Sure.
You know, like I don't remember who was saying, even if you're not sure you can, just say yes and then figure out later.
Oh, why would you not? I mean, the name Tony Robbins and says, "Can you help?" I mean, who in the world would say no?
Right. Yeah.
If they are, they shouldn't be in business. That's just all there is to it.
So then they came back again, and so I was reaching out to them saying, when is this going to happen? Do you have content? What's the funnels going to look like? And stuff like that. And the answer was always, it's not even a funnel. It's just an opt-in to a live event. That's it. And I was like, really? So, and even 2 weeks before the event, we had no information. Like nothing, no content, nothing. So 2 weeks before the event, I was like, okay, do you have content now? Is the page ready? We need some time to prepare. No, not yet. We're going to send that to you soon. Okay. Okay. And basically what happened is that 3 days before the bot had to launch, we got the information. So we had basically 3 days to build the whole thing.
No. So when I was talking about you're actually probably catching them on sleep, that's not a joke.
No, it was not a joke.
That's
It has
real.
been, yeah, it's real. Yeah, the struggle was real.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
Wow.
So of course the core, we had 3 days to build it. Then we had it took about 10 days to tweak and refine and fine tune the thing as we got questions from the audience and stuff like that. But the core, the mechanic of the whole thing, we had 3 days.
Well, that answers a lot of my questions because I was on the other side of that funnel and I was in Tony Robbins' audience. I was in his list, in his messenger list. And so really what I got was something very simple, very specific. You know, would you like to come? I said yes. And I did everything on desktop. I didn't touch my phone with it. So it was all on desktop. It said, would you like to come? Yes. I click the yes. It says, okay, you're going to get a reminder or whatever the next one was. And then when the event went live, I got a reminder or, invitation. And then I went straight to the event and I purchased. So I got nothing else, right? I didn't need to get anything else because I was already done. So, I mean, it just is a no-brainer for me. So all of that you built for the invitation had to be done in 3 days. And then the follow-up, which is, of course, the majority of everyone else. I mean, I'm one of my issues, and I hire people around me who are much more cautious with things than I am because I'm not.
Yeah,
I just jump. Obviously, I just jump. So there's a lot of other people who are very cautious and they need that follow-up. They need that nurturing. They need that reassurance that this is, yes, something they need. So you had to build all of that out over the next 10 days just based on what people were asking. But I know you also said that during your webinar, talking about this blueprint and talking about this launch, that that you had keywords and things set up. So you must have anticipated a lot of that. So tell me about what kind of experience you have that allowed you to prepare for something like that. Not only have a 3-day build, but then 10 days and the keywords and the integrations and the interactions that you needed to have ahead of time to anticipate those things without any content. We won't even get into that. But what kind of experience do you have that allowed you to do that?
I think the biggest strength that I had and to anticipate that is that I've been dealing a lot with customer service. So I was just trying to put myself in the potential prospect shoes. What would they want to know? What questions would they want to be answered to feel comfortable and to feel and to trust the entire process and to trust the thing, because it was obviously they had their own audience, but they had a lot of people coming from a lot of affiliate partners who had no idea who Tony Robbins is or who Dean Graziosi is or even Russell Brunson is. So some of them were perfect strangers. They were strangers to some of those people. So I was trying to think what would I want to know and what would I want to feel or experience to feel comfortable and to trust those guys.
Wow. What about you, David? What were you going to say?
Yeah, to sort of anticipate that, because we had such short notice, we didn't have time to integrate Janice or any type of AI. Yeah. So what we were doing was taking, when people were asking questions, is putting the frequently asked questions into a Google Sheet, and then obviously looking at those frequently asked questions and then creating responses. So when the keyword, what time in my time zone, then the time zone detector flow fired off. So yeah, I mean, all of that was being done throughout that 10 days. But there, I mean, I mean, we did have a good laugh throughout the entire thing as well, because some of the comments were just like amazing. One, one guy said, "I've got a doctor's appointment. Is it possible to reschedule the webinar?"
Oh my gosh. Well,
Yeah, sure,
let
no
me
problem.
think.
We just need to move 200,000 people.
To accommodate your doctor's appointment. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then what about the other guy that has a doctor's appointment for their child, or a school PTA meeting, or come on, got to get their car fixed? I mean, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even that, I initially we did not think about of having a list of questions. It's just when the thing started, we noticed that a lot of people was asking a lot of questions. So I was like, I won't have the time to respond to all those questions.
Oh my gosh. No.
So that's why what I said, I decided to, okay, let's create a quick zap to push all the questions in a Google Sheet and then analyze all those questions, try to identify a pattern, like something that comes always as a question. And that's how we came up with top five questions.
Yeah.
Time zone, how much is going to cost, is the VIP pass free or not, that type of questions.
Yeah.
And then created not only keywords but also rules, because we had people interacting in the bot as free input but also as last question asked or last input asked. So we had keywords trigger and rules triggered.
So here's the thing that we just have to address this. So I know there are people in the audience, like, mind being blown, thinking they're on their own, they're in their own little team. Maybe they have a contractor or someone that maybe works with them, but they really are the show. Okay, this one person is a bot builder, and they're thinking about this, going, holy flippin' wow, how in the world would that would be, and to reference the actual product itself, KBB, to talk about the fact that they had this threshold of I would just, they would dive in and try and keep answering, rather than say, okay, whoa, how is my time best used here? And it would be best used, instead of jumping in and answering every question, it would be best used to figure out a solution to be able to answer as many questions as possible with the shortest amount of, or the least amount of my work and time. So you have to have experience doing that in order to get to that place, in order to understand. So you must have a team that works with you. Was it just you working on this bot, or did you have other people helping you out with it?
Well, the thing is, I hate repetitive tasks. I hate that. I just hate that.
I know. I agree.
To me, I could not even think 2 seconds to answer twice to the same question.
Yeah, right.
So it's something I have in me. I just can't.
Same here.
So
anything repetitive, it just makes no sense.
Yeah,
right?
Especially when you work in chatbots and automation and stuff like that. It's like a reflex. It's like a second nature. Okay, I see 3 people asking the second question. Whoop, hold on. There's a zap of that.
But there's also, then that's another issue, though, because lots of times we look at solving the problem with something automated, when sometimes we don't really need that. Sometimes there are better solutions, rather than having to build something complicated to do something simple. So I hear you. I feel the exact same way. And David, you were going to say something too.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely. It was just Philippe, myself, and Vanessa. So 3 of us. Robin helped with the graphics, which is Philippe's son. So, but the actual bot build and the VIP event was mainly just Philippe and myself. Robin did a lot of, Philippe's son did a lot of the graphics, the personalized graphics. But the rest, was just us, and a lot of sleepless nights over that time.
And the reason why it was like that is because as you know, it was the what was at stake here was so massive.
Yeah.
We could not have think for a second to outsource this to anyone.
No. Mm-mm.
We had to do it ourselves, because first of all, there's not lots of people that would be able to do what we have done.
Correct.
And that's why we teach what we do.
Yeah.
But also because it was so important. So we could not screw that up. It has to be, and the time we didn't have enough time to make mistakes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I hear you.
So it has to be perfect straight out of the gate.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. So, the only other question I would have about that in relation to that is that, so the page wasn't done, the content you didn't have, but you had to at least know what the program was going to be. I mean, you had to at least know a little bit. You didn't have any inkling what KBB was about. Nobody told you anything about.
Yeah, the only thing we knew, it was mastermind.com, but at the last minute, so I was starting to build. So listen to this. Okay. I started to build the bot on the page, on the ManyChat page, mastermind.com. And 2 days before, Tanner came to me and said, oh, we are not going to launch that on the mastermind.com page, but we are going to create another page called Tony, Dean, and Russell. He said, can you do that on that page? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm just going to say this. Shame on you. The powers that be, shame on you. That's all I'm going to say. Just come on, people. Be more organized than that for the people who are doing incredible things for you. Incredible things. You guys pulled off incredible things for this team. And especially even knowing now, and of course I understand, you would of course have sleepless nights. You're not going to go to bed at 9 o'clock at night and get up at 7 in the morning when you've got that hanging over your head and that reputation that you have to protect for yourself and for that team. But
I think one of the things that was most interesting about this was, you know, we anticipated that there was obviously going to be a lot of people. And the first things we asked ourselves is, Philippe, what can potentially go wrong? What if they get, you know, like 50, 60, 100,000 people in Messenger, and then we send out the reminder? Can ManyChat handle that? So we reached out to Mikkel. Mikkel came back to us and said, eventually, and I can't remember I think this was 4 or 5 days before the event, no, it won't be able to handle it, because not of ManyChat, but Facebook have limits, that it was something like 3,000 per minute or something, Philippe?
Between 2,000 and 2,000 messages able to go out at any given minute. So that's how Facebook throttle the thing. So we had to accommodate that.
We had to accommodate that and build out, you know,
rules. Rules. Yeah, I have a bot that is 1.8 million subscribers in size. And that's the exact issue we run into. We cannot send, there are sequence messages that have 400,000, 800,000 people subscribe to them, and there's no way they can all be sent at the same time. We've had that exact same issue, and we have to basically stagger. Otherwise, the bot basically just freezes. It just won't send anymore at all. It won't send anything. So we have to stagger things and put all that stuff in the back end to make sure that that it doesn't shut the thing down and freeze the thing. So I get that. But so at least you anticipated that, and it would be, you know, pretty logical to do so, especially with combining 3 people's audiences that are huge to begin with. Wow. How did that feel when you were approached first?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that we had to do, because you know, on a day-to-day basis, we were in contact with Tanner. And basically he was saying Infusionsoft was having problems, that so many people were signing up. So we ended up having to build, Philippe called it a server overload, where within Zapier, if emails weren't being populated, if they hadn't got their email and the pass wasn't being generated, obviously people just kept clicking on buttons and nothing was happening. So we ended up creating a response. It's like, whoa,
Hang
the
on.
server's having problems. It was actually quite a humorous conversation that we created. Like, you know, chill out.
Yeah, I know, that was really funny. It really was. And so let me ask you this real quick. What is the closest launch you've ever been a part of to this, in terms of size, in terms of numbers of people, in terms of dollars generated? What's the closest project that you've worked on?
Well, obviously we've done Dean's webinars, and that's continuing. So that would be the closest. But by far, this is, I mean,
Yeah,
Nothing compares to that.
yeah. Is it like 10x? Is this 10x anything you've done? Is it 20x? Is it 100x? I mean, give me some parameters.
at least 10x. You know, this is ended up. I would imagine now that it's over 7 million. It was 6.8 as of when we did the case study.
Yeah.
And we haven't had the final buyers list, so you know, it was. I mean,
And that's
crazy.
just from the bot. That's not the total. Obviously, they've made more than that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's just from the bot. And you know, that's incredible. And we're talking about such a short period of time because of the fact that it was a live event. And I think, has the cart closed yet, or are they keeping it open?
Yeah, it's
The cart's
closed now.
closed. Okay.
I think one of the funniest things was on the morning, because in Bali time the event took place at 8 a.m. So we were up at around 3 a.m. that morning, checking everything, getting everything ready. You know, luckily Philippe, we're next door neighbours. You know, we're 2 villas apart, so we were checking everything. Morning, have you got everything ready, Philippe? Yeah, I've got everything ready. Have you got everything ready, David? Yeah, I've got everything ready. Right, okay, so we're ready to go. And then, of course, Philippe sent out a test broadcast, and it was at the exact moment that Facebook made an update. And not only our bot, but every single, I don't know, you probably saw all of the comments in the Money Chat. Every bot went down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Philippe come running around. The button, it's not working. It's not working. I'm like, oh no, please. And then
And I was jumping at David's place, and I said, David, send the push. So talking about the mobile wallet push.
Oh yeah.
To get people the notification we went live, because they could not get the link.
Oh.
And so
obviously a few people, when it was, I mean, it was sorted pretty quick. So there were people that could join, but Philippe came up with a solution. He said, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? It's like, I know, default reply. Every time somebody, the link's not working, boom, default reply is, here's the link. Yeah. Here's the link. It was just a straightforward naked link to join.
Yeah.
So, but the funny thing was, as we obviously sat and watched the entire presentation, and we had zaps that were running when a purchase was made, that we were matching that up within Money Chat. And of course, you know, it was a increased custom field by 1. So we would sat here and it was like, we've just gone past 1 million and I think it was in about 15 minutes now. So, and then 2 million. Oh my God, we've just gone past $3 million in less than an hour. So of course we were sort of super excited. But then we found out that from Tanner that at any given moment of time, at one particular time, there were 4 people that clicked on the buy now button, and they had 4 payment gateways that all crashed. So it probably would have been more than 3 minutes, because we had messages. We saw the messages. I'm going to bed. I'll buy in the morning.
And that's, we have to really acknowledge this because you guys built an incredible bot, obviously, and had such an incredible experience for people. And you have to think of all the other pieces of software and all the other teams involved. I mean, I don't imagine you guys wrote all the email copy or the sales pages or, the checkout pages or, all that kind of stuff. So this, even though this is a huge $6 million, $7 million worth of purchases going through the bot, it all has to work together. And they better have given all those other people much better notice than they gave you, because how can you write a sales page that's going to do it? Come on, people. I just still can't. I'm sorry. I'm not going to let that one go because anyway, maybe the bot was an afterthought, but it wasn't, because you guys were brought in how early? When did they contact you and say, hey, we're doing this live thing. What do you think?
They contacted
me just 1 month saying we're going to do a live
but that's
event.
still a month.
Yeah, but nothing was ready really.
Yeah. So that must have been an afterthought. They obviously, based on the content, based on the actual product itself, it obviously had a lot of work ahead of time in it. They didn't just throw this together at the last minute. It was very detailed. So it sounds like probably, we probably should maybe add a bot to this, right? Was maybe more of an afterthought, which is unfortunately most clients. Right.
Yes.
One of the interesting things, Mary, is that they were noticing, obviously, that people were responding to the messages in Messenger, and I think it was 2 or 3 days after they launched the first value video that Tanner contacted Philippe and said, we're thinking about giving away an extra bonus, like an extra Facebook private group for those that subscribe in Messenger. And then because the headline on the funnel changed about 5 times, but they wanted more people in Facebook Messenger because they were seeing that the open and the click-through were way better than their email.
Yeah.
So we were sort of waiting, what's the bonus? What's the extra bonus? Oh, Dean doesn't have time. They were so wrapped up in everything that he said they didn't have time to do that.
Yeah.
But what that told us was that they were so impressed with the what was going on inside of Messenger.
Yeah.
If in hindsight they would have probably given away some bigger bonuses to join up through Facebook Messenger, install the wallet. The incentive was that the chat on the live was limited. Therefore, if you get first on the list by subscribing in Facebook Messenger and get reminders.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I think that next time around when they relaunch, Messenger will play an even bigger part than it did this time.
Yeah. It better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a huge part. I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah. And so there's so many different directions we can go with this, but I really want to, because Messenger is still relatively new. Chatbots are still relatively new, still very few in relation to the entire world of marketing. Very few businesses use this tool, even though they're, millions and millions and millions. But it's still, every day I have conversations with people who are like, oh, that's right, I kind of heard about that thing. And they, still are kind of clueless. What are you all going to do? I mean, obviously you had your case study, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to stay all the way through the end of it, but I caught Philippe talking about that, which is, of course, being a nerd as I am. That's what I really wanted to, what did they do and how did that work? And, see all the technical details.
Right.
And of course, hear you talk, Philippe. I mean, it's just a beautiful voice. So, but anyway, beyond that, but beyond that, what is your plan to be able to use this? Now, obviously, you can't share any proprietary information. I'm not expecting that. But I would hope that maybe there's going to be some kind of, I don't know, testimonial for you from a couple of powers that be, showing really what you were able to pull off and be able to accomplish with this and how impactful this was to the launch. Because if they didn't have, imagine if they didn't have Messenger, there's
Right.
possibly $6 million in that, $7 million that they may not have made.
Correct. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you have any plans? Anything that you guys are going to?
Obviously, the template for the ManyChat template is what we're giving our students, and we're dissecting it for them. We're showing them how we did the zaps and the mobile wallet event ticket, how it all tied together. So for our students, they actually get the template that they can then obviously use for their clients.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's all about sort of teaching people. A lot of the stuff was very advanced, and obviously for beginners to ManyChat would be way over the.
Oh yeah.
They don't even know what a condition is.
Yeah, exactly. Let alone rules and API calls and.
For our members, for the members of our mastermind, we're doing live workshops where we dissect it. We teach them. Well, we give them the template and run through how to install it on a page. And
Fantastic.
Demo that.
Yeah. But I can imagine that this, obviously you're going to be speaking at ManyChat. So congratulations on that. I can't wait to
Thank
see
you.
you.
Yes.
Yes. So I'll get to see you again there. But, this is bigger than just your students in that respect. I mean, Facebook should be using this, right, as some type of a case study for Messenger.
Well, we've already had an interview with ManyChat and their PR team, and what they're looking to do is get this out to the press.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, all of that's still in the works. And yeah, I mean, the knock-on effect from this is we've had people contact us saying, can you do the same for us?
Yeah.
And yeah, of course we can.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, is because this is such great publicity for and just the acknowledgement of what chatbots can do and what Messenger can do in done the right way.
Correct.
Done the right way. I know you would agree with me that you've seen many influencers doing it not the right way.
Not the Frank way or not the Gary V way. To not name them.
You acknowledged that. Thank you very much. I'm telling you, yes. And yes, that, and there are many others that are just, I'm appalled. But so this is great publicity for an acknowledgement for what really this can do. Yes, what it can do, and done the right way, with the right people, with the right experience. So what were did you have anything? Obviously this happened so fast that probably you didn't have any time to have any mindset issues yourself. Like, oh my gosh, I'm building a bot that's going to be for Russell Brunson and Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins. What the heck? Right. I mean, you probably didn't have time to stop and absorb that, or did you?
We did. We did. Yeah, and the thing was, because we're so what's the right word? Comfortable with ManyChat, with Zapier, with having built the sort of evergreen webinar. So we've dealt with a lot of traffic into many different bots. So we're both very meticulous when it comes to preparation and I mean, Philippe is pays attention to detail like you wouldn't believe, and I'm the same because I obviously handled the event ticket, which was the first time that had ever been in court. I mean, obviously Philippe spoke last year about the messenger loyalty program. Well, of course, this year we're going to talk about, a live event that also included a mobile wallet event ticket.
Yes.
And the really interesting thing that was actually unexpected, because it wasn't promoted, is that on the actual pass itself, people could share. And they were doing that. They were sharing it with their friends. So they didn't actually go through any of the funnel, no emails, no messenger reminders, just the event ticket and the push notifications. And when we got the buyers list, we're like, oh my God, there's people that have purchased from joining the event from the event ticket. So there were a few surprises that came our way. It's like, didn't expect that. So,
but it shows the power.
Yeah, exactly.
That shows the power of the social connection, right?
Correct.
Where we do the things that our friends recommend. And that obviously is a testament to that.
Yeah. In hindsight, we again, if we'd have had more prep time, we'd have done a lot more sharing in Messenger, sharing in mobile wallet, and
oh my goodness, you guys are going to have the next time this is done with a team that actually gives you what you need to do it.
Yes.
The next time this is done, you are going to have worked out all those kinks with the first one, and what an event to work out the kinks on. But the next time is going to be really, it's going to be nailed even bigger than this. So, wow, congratulations to you guys. And I've got to, I really do. Well, tell me this before I ask any other questions. I want to dive a little deeper before you got into bots. So if each of you could tell me what job were you doing before you started working in ManyChat and chatbots?
Well, I lived in I obviously originally from the UK, but I haven't lived there for 18 years now. I lived in a small island called Koh Samui in Thailand for 8 years, and I had a publishing company, and that was a tourist magazines. So all of the tours, the hotels, the restaurants, they paid me a monthly fee to advertise in my magazine. So, and then what happened September 2012, which is when TripAdvisor, Facebook, and all of the online reviews and all of that type of thing. I was dealing with all of the big brands, so the Starwoods and all of the big hospitality, the Hiltons, Conrads, and most of the marketing directors from those companies were saying, we are now channeling much more of our marketing budget online. And that was the time that I then shifted my entire focus from printed media to online. So, at that particular moment in time, and I remember, I am never, ever going to be behind the curve again. I'm always going to be one step ahead. Philippe?
So I was already dealing with agency clients, and something was missing to what I was doing. I was never satisfied. And when I stumbled across ManyChat, it was really like an epiphany, like the big, oh my God, this is the missing piece.
Yes.
And especially when in July, I think it was in July, they came up with a Zapier integration. I was already a Zapier nerd, was like automating a lot of things, but not to the extent we do now. Today, ManyChat, like I was saying to the ManyChat team a few days ago, today ManyChat is the core of everything we do, is the starting point of every single automation we do. There's nothing without ManyChat. So any trigger, anything starts with ManyChat, and then the automation follows. So it's now such a massive piece of everything we do. And so that's when I first started to deal with ManyChat. I was at that time dealing with a 5-star hotel, and I was doing Facebook lead ads. And that's how I started ManyChat. Is I was trying to connect people coming from a Facebook lead ad to Messenger, and it was not possible at that time.
Right.
And that's how there's one thing that I have to figure out things. If I decide I want to do something, I will spend hours and hours and days and weeks and months to figure it out until I get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how I figure out, okay, lead ad to Messenger, no problem. So I made it for this 5-star hotel because I had to prove them that it was possible. And we made it, and they got some amazing results. They were paying up to $400 a lead with their previous marketing. And with that solution we built for them, they got $1.49 a lead. They were like, whoa!
Do that again, please. Do that again, please. Please do that again.
Yeah.
And they were like, that was the real aha moment. Was like, okay, we are onto something here.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's how I started to dive deeper into ManyChat and asking Michael, okay, can you do this? Can you add this? Can you do that? I need this. I need that.
Yeah.
when Zapier is coming, we need Zapier.
Wow. Yeah, it's that's incredible. It really and congratulations for that, both of you, David especially. You're like, you had a hunger to stay on the cutting edge and be there first, so that same situation didn't happen. And Philippe, I get it completely. That's exactly where I was. Marketing agency, working, yeah, that's just fine. It's going okay. Nothing was lighting up my world until I actually saw a demo of Chat Fuel first. And just the fact that you could do this. And I dove into Chat Fuel and went, this is possible. This is it. And I ditched all my marketing. I was not doing any more membership sites. I was not doing any more email campaigns and nothing. It's like, nope, sorry. If you want to follow me over here, you can follow me over here, but I'm not doing that anymore. Sorry. Yeah. It's just a no-brainer. It just grabbed me by the throat.
Yeah, exactly that. We're doing a bit of AdWords, a bit of Facebook ads, a bit of SEO, a bit of this, a bit of that.
Yeah.
It was all over the place, and it was not fulfilling. It was not productive. It was not. No, it was not good until we found that ManyChat.
And I think the one of the really cool things how Philippe and myself came in contact and joined forces was when Philippe was running that campaign for the 5-star hotel. I was running. I was already doing a course for ManyChat. Philippe found out about that. Then he saw that I was using mobile wallet, and Philippe was doing that with another company at the time, right, for coupons and things.
Yeah.
So Philippe contacted me, and he's like, I love what you're doing with your stuff. And obviously the rest is history. We sort of partnered up and we combine both of our knowledge and skills to create obviously what we've just done for Tony and Dean, and pretty much we do that for all of our campaigns now. So we leverage obviously Messenger is great, and so is mobile wallet, because again it's an untapped channel, and again that's I was speaking to the marketing directors of Starwood in 2012 that were talking about putting their loyalty program into this new Apple Wallet, and I'm like, what's that? What's Apple Wallet? But at the time it was called Passport. So it's just evolved where again we're now both in the situation that we're never going to get we're never going to be where we were before,
No.
because
Mm-mm.
we're always one step ahead of the curve,
Yeah.
and making sure that, you know, when new stuff comes out, we dive into it like mad scientists, you know.
Yeah, but you know, it's still something that you've got to choose, right? Because
Sure.
now we also have voice, right? So you have to choose to stay here with chatbots and follow this trajectory. You could easily be going into artificial intelligence and, you know, building, you know, massive scale AI solutions, or you could go into voice activated, or, you know, there are many different places you can go with a lot of
Yeah.
this stuff. So you still have to, there's so much. It just, you really have to choose and pick a path and stay that course.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And also be, you know, obviously as things change, which they're constantly doing, as you know, is be prepared to adapt to those changes as and when things are made better. Then adapt to those changes, because I mean, where we are now, 10 years from now, I mean, what's an iPhone? You know, everything's good. We'll probably have chips in us that will.
Yeah, it'll be on our foreheads. It'll just be on our foreheads like a visor coming out, and we'll look up and oh yeah, it'll be something embedded somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't even want to think about it. Nope, I'm not going to go there. Yeah, I'll leave that to the youngins, and I'll see how I feel about that. I mean, my dog has a chip in their neck. You know, I don't know.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Well, you know, the chip, they have identification chips. If they get lost, there's a chip that
Yeah.
they can read and scan. Yeah, that kind of thing. I don't want to have a chip on my neck like my dog. But anyway, so, but okay, so just tell me one thing. I need to know this, because I know it's all rosy, and I know you guys pulled out what you needed to pull out, and there were issues and you dealt with them. But what's the most difficult mindset that you have had to overcome to actually be where you are right now? The most difficult business mindset.
I can give you an example of when we first started with the Dean Graziosi Evergreen webinar. One of the biggest challenges that we faced was the time zones all over the world are different, and you have daylight savings time, and then the clocks go forward, but they don't in some parts of the world, and they do in other parts of the world. And the biggest challenge that we had, where Philippe spent 3 continuous days, I spent 3 continuous days, so 6 days combined looking for solutions, and then bing, we found it. But it took us 6 days to find the solution. So I think we're both in the mindset that there is always a way. There is always a way to solve a problem. And we always approach most of the work that we do with which is going to be the most efficient, effective, and straightforward way to solve that particular problem. And I think that was a big turning point for us, because we now know, or we have the mindset that anything is possible.
Yeah. You're going to tackle it. You're going to tackle whatever comes your way. You're going to find the resources to tackle it.
Yeah, head on. Yeah.
Yeah. But that, I'm sure, just by talking to y'all for a few minutes here, that you had to develop that a long time ago in order to even just stay in business to the point where you are. I mean, I've been in online business since 2003. You know, built the first maternity store online. And you just, with those first obstacles, you either give up or you figure it out. Yeah. And that's what's allowed you to get to this success. I need to make sure that people are listening don't think that just happened because, you know, a month ago you were just all of a sudden given this opportunity and you made it work. This has been how many years, combined years of experience in marketing and sales and technology that has allowed you to do that.
I think one of the things that we specifically to you know, the students that come in that want to learn how to build chatbots. You know, they're like, well, you guys seem so advanced, and we're like, well, ManyChat only came out, you know, a few years ago. We were all,
yeah,
both Philippe and myself, were in the same position that you are right now. The only difference between us is that we have failed more times than you have tried.
yeah,
And that's the difference. We have failed so many times on trying to accomplish certain things that we set out to do, but we just didn't. We never give up. We always know that there is a way.
yes,
And
yes.
you know, and I think when people have that mindset, then they can tackle the problems head on. And that's the mindset you have to have, really, to be honest, in my opinion.
Yeah, oh, completely. Two words: perseverance and resilience. So
Yeah.
being resilient is when you get knocked down, how quickly can you bounce back up? And perseverance, you just never give up. It's just not an
Yeah.
option. It's just not.
Yeah,
So,
resilience is a big word to me, because I had to face two bankruptcies of my businesses. So and that's something that is you know, it's such a teacher in life.
yes.
When you, especially when the business is successful. So it was not bankruptcy because the business was not successful, but because of external events that
You couldn't
happened.
control. Yeah.
You cannot control. But you know, and when you have success in life and you have a certain lifestyle and you earn a lot of money, and overnight you lose everything, literally everything. So imagine you earn 6 figures a month, and the next day you earn nothing. That changed a lot.
Yeah.
So when you have to survive to this, obviously your skin get a bit thicker.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yes. Yes. Or you die. I mean, it's just, you know,
Yeah, you have only two choices. It's
that's
either
it.
you wake up, you stand, and you move forward, or you
Yes.
just
Or
disappear
just
and
lay
you're
down.
like,
Yep.
you don't have much choices.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. My first business went bankrupt because I had a fire in the office. And that's where you learn that not only you need an insurance against fire, but also an insurance for the time your business stopped running,
Yes. To be able to survive.
which
Yeah.
I didn't have at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was young. I was 22 years old. I created my business. I was so young. It was successful, but I didn't know that I need to have an insurance in
Yeah.
case
Yeah.
I could not move forward with my business, in case I was sick or whatever.
Yeah.
So I lost everything.
Oh.
And and so that's something you learn when you face that type of experience. And also I had the chance in my second business to deal with the largest brands in the world, like Walmart and Costco's and Targets and Carrefour's, and those guys, you know, they're tough to deal with. So again, you need to have some kind of perseverance. Perseverance and resilience are two of
Yes.
my main words.
Those are my only two words that I always go back to. It is perseverance and resilience. And you have to live by those words. When you've experienced things like that, you really do, you embody them. They become a part of you. And that's what has allowed you to anticipate and to build that structure out, and trying to anticipate what people might do and what they might say and how they might act. Really, those two things, perseverance and resilience, is what allowed you to do that. And those people listening in the audience, maybe if you haven't developed that yet, it's okay. You will.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for, you know, the biggest advice I can give anybody that's starting out with messenger marketing is that, again, persevere, push through the struggles, push through the frustrations that you go through as you're learning how to build out bots. And and you eventually get to that stage where the penny drops. That's how you do that. That's how you do that. And we keep teaching our students, like, keep failing, because when you make the same mistake time and time and time again, but then you get it right, you'll never make that mistake ever again.
Yep.
You'll never make that same mistake. And again, as Tony said in the, repetition is the mother of skill. So it's all about persevering, pushing through the frustrations, and then, and I mean, if somebody 2.5 years ago had said to me, or both Philippe and myself, in 2.5 years from now, you're going to be part of the biggest internet launch in marketing history, and you're going to create something that's going to earn $7 million in less than an hour, I'd have laughed in their face.
Of course.
I'd have gone, what? That was stupid.
Who are you talking to? Yeah. What planet did you drop from? Yes.
So I mean, certainly for us now, we're in this mindset. It's like, what next?
Yes. Oh, how exciting. Yeah. So, all right, dish it up. What's next?
We unfortunately can't divulge it
See
yet.
what you did there.
There is something in the works.
Heat it right up for me, and then you just dropped it.
Yeah, I know. There's going to be a lot of similar type of thing with regards to.
I don't need details. I know you're going to do amazing things. I know that so many more failures and successes, and even greater successes are on the horizon. And I just can't wait to watch it. I really can't. It just is so exciting. This whole world is. I love everyone's success, because it's more for selfish reasons, to be honest, because I want this world to keep going. And for the people who know how to do it well, like you two, to keep going and to keep it moving that direction for us all. So I'm back here celebrating. I'm back here doing an amazing dance, going, woohoo! Yes, this is amazing stuff. Let's go. Let's keep going. Oh, thank you.
I think the really exciting thing, Mary, is that when you see the biggest names out there using messenger marketing, Tony Robbins using messenger marketing, Gary Vee now coming out with his own bot. This now is putting messenger marketing really right in the spotlight. Yeah. And people that have ignored it in the past cannot ignore it anymore. So again, it's still in early stages, as you know. But
it's going. People are like, oh, that's gonna peter out. I'm like, dude, just go away. No, it's not. You better either jump in or sit back and watch, because those are the only two options you have.
Right. Absolutely. Wow. Unfortunately, for those that sit back and watch, in 2 years from now, they'll be going, oh no.
Oh man. Yeah.
Why didn't I do it when I had the chance?
Oh, I can't tell you how many people, when I first started looking at this, and I kind of put out feelers, and I asked some friends who were in marketing and some people in a mastermind with me. I'm like, you know what? I've heard of this thing, and I just can't stop thinking about it. And it's really something I think I need to do and learn how to do and go and do. And every single one, oh, you know what? That's just probably the next squirrel you're chasing. It's just going to be it's going to peter out. It's, I think you should stay focused on what you're supposed, all that stuff. And I'm just like, sorry, no, I can't do that. I have to jump in here. And they're all saying now, wow, how did you know that? I'm like, I didn't know. I just followed what I felt, and I tested, and I reached out to people and asked, and I pre-sold bots. And I talked about what it was supposed to be and said, well, what do you think? Will this help your business? And they went, yeah. I said, okay, I can do it for you for $1,000. I mean, just throwing a number out there, right? And they said, okay. And I went, oh, okay, I guess this might work. And then just kept going from there. It's not going to stop. It's just not. And I hope they jump on. So, all right, let's bring this show to the end and ask you guys a pretty personal question. So we've already talked about how old we all are, and I'm still the oldest of the group. So I can claim that title still. But let's say you are way in the future, because we're all going to live to 130. So we're way in the future, and you're looking back on your life, and someone's going to write your memoirs. Someone's going to write your autobiography. And I think this is going to be a pretty big moment in that book. But what would be the title of that book?
I would say never give up, or he never gave up.
He never gave up. He never gave up. He persevered, and he was resilient.
Yeah.
Yes. And who would write that book for you, Philippe?
I would say probably my sons.
Yeah.
I have 2 sons, and one, Robin, is here in Bali with me. And my first son, Ken, was in Thailand with me for 6 months, 3 years ago. And they have witnessed,
Everything,
all the struggles as an entrepreneur, and they have witnessed the successes.
Yeah.
And and I think one thing they will remember about me is that I never give up.
Yeah. How old are they?
25 and 23.
Your sons are older than mine. I have 2 sons as well. We've got way too many similarities, Philippe.
I started very early to have kids.
I was gonna say I started very late, so that's all right. But still, but we have a lot of similarities. We're gonna have an offline talk. We really have to get to know each other a little bit better. But we have mine are 17 and 20, and and mine would write my book too. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, all right. So Robin and Ken, you said his name was? Hold on a second, David. I have one more question for Philippe. So what would they say was the quote that you lived your life by? Philippe.
All right. Okay. So I will borrow a quote from my Latin and Greek teacher I had at school. And it's in French, but I will try to translate that into English. So he was always saying NPSFQQA. And we were like, what is that? NPSFQQA, what is that? And he said, so in French is ne pas s'en faire, quoi qu'il arrive, which means in English, don't worry, whatever happens. And I think it's very related to don't give up. Is don't worry, whatever happens, you will find a way.
Yes.
And I think that's the philosophy I live by every day.
Exactly. That's wonderful. Yes, and that's why when anyone asks me how I'm doing today, I say I'm fantastic because I actually got to wake up. So the alternative is not too pleasant. So yeah, don't worry. You woke up today. You'll figure it out. It's okay. Fantastic.
That's already a success. That's already a success.
Hello. Yes. You opened your eyes and you breathed. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Everything else is amazing. Even if it's bad. That's fantastic, Philippe. Thank you. All right, David, go. What would be, the first question is, what's the name of the book?
The book would be titled The Mountains Climbed.
Ah, okay. Looking back on the mountains that you climbed. Yes. And who would write it?
Again, my son.
How old is he?
He's 30.
Wow, you guys definitely started young.
And yes, I'm a grandfather with a
and I just learned 3 days ago I'm going to turn granddad as well.
Oh my God! gosh, you guys. Oh, how fun though. You guys are way young and so you can enjoy it. So, oh, that's so fun. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't want to be a grandmother. Nope, not yet. 17 and 20, they can wait.
Yeah.
That's fine. Mine can wait.
So
so
want
it would be
to say that the chatbot mom, that not the chatbot grandma.
no. No, the hair is going gray, but no, you cannot call me a grandmother until I actually am. You can stay with the chatbot mom. That's enough. That's right. So, all right. So we know who would write it. And now what's the quote that you will have lived this incredible life by?
Don't look back. You're not going that way.
Yes. You're not. Wow.
Don't look back.
You guys are incredible. I have had such a blast chatting with you. I can't wait to do it again. I really can't wait to catch up again and find out more about how the heck did you become neighbors in Bali. Okay. I mean, I'm sure there are so many stories that we can talk about. But thank you so much for taking this time and spending this time with me. I mean, especially, I hope you're getting some sleep. I'm sure you have other clients and all these other opportunities coming. So probably a lot of lack of sleep will be coming again.
Right.
But thank
we
you.
have a tech call right now with our students.
Yeah, we got to.
Thank you so much.
Jump on to another tech call with our students.
Okay, I better let you go. I hope I didn't make you late.
No,
all right.
Just a quarter. That's fine. But thank you so much, Mary, for having us. That was a bit.
Can't wait to meet you actually at the conference.
Yes. Be prepared for a big hug. You betcha. Can't wait to do it.
Sure.
Thanks for listening to the My Chatbot Life podcast. To watch this video chat, visit mychatbotlife.com and get all the rocket boosters you need for your own chatbot success.